Discerning between reality and myth when it comes to your Sisterlocks, Microlocks, or any other type of small lock that you may be having or that you may be actually considering. Are you tired of struggling with hair growth and thinning strands? Release the magic in your locks and tresses with I Am Melanin Magic hair oils. Our premium blend of all natural ingredients strengthens, restores, and revitalizes your hair for maximum health and growth. Don't let thinning hair
straightened hair
brand. Upgrade your hair care game today. I Am Melanin Magic hair oil. Greetings. Welcome to Tanisha's Locks Beauty Tips and Potpourri, also known as the I Am Melanin Magic brand. Before I get into the content, I want to announce that the next level 1 Reiki certification class is coming up for all of you hands-on healers, you empaths, you massage therapists, or anyone else who is interested in alternative modalities with regard to healing. As many of you know, I've been a master practitioner for over 10 years. So if this is something that is calling you, because I'm a firm believer that Reiki chooses you, then do check out the community tab on this channel here. You can also find it on my Spiritually Initiated and Crown channel, and follow the steps to sign up for the class. It will be January the 26th in 2025. I hope you all are having a beautiful day today. I hope that you're feeling peaceful. I hope that you're feeling productive, that you are feeling powerful, that you are living passionately from a positive point of attraction. Now, today we're talking about discerning between reality and myth when it comes to your Sisterlocks, Microlocks, or any other type of small lock that you may be having or that you may be actually considering. I wanted to briefly do a short video to give you some things that you're going to want to be mindful of, or that you're going to want to do a little bit more fact finding around if you find yourself early in this journey, or if you find yourself somewhere in the space of considering these types of hairstyles. Before I even start, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter the particulars around the name of the lock that you have. If it is a small lock, you are likely going to be dealing with some commonalities, regardless of if you have Sisterlocks or Microlocks or any other type of small lock. There are going to be some things that you're going to want to keep in mind. As much as this is a beautiful, low maintenance hairstyle, it is not a no maintenance hairstyle. It requires some maintenance to keep your locks looking good. There's a little bit of work and regular routine maintenance like type stuff that you're just going to have to get used to doing. So that can be a misconception. I know it was a misconception that I had early on, and it's something that I found out very quickly I needed to be mindful of. So never think that there's not anything that you have to do. The most important thing that you're going to need to do with your locks is to inspect what you expect, depending on the type of lock that you have and what the requirements may be from your loctician, and what some of the things you may be that you feel that you need to do in order to keep your head looking really great. It's going to be really important that you inspect your locks meticulously on a regular basis. At the very least, you want to check them right before you get your retightenings and very soon after you get your retightenings. This way you can keep an eye on any changes and anything that's going on with your head. The second important thing that you need to understand is that this style, while it will help you reach your hair abundance goals, okay, while you will experience beautiful, thicker, voluminous, gorgeous, every day is a good hair day type of days, it's important for you to understand that you should not think by any stretch of the imagination that just by getting your retightenings on time, just by sitting in the chair of your loctician, and just by following all of the advice that your loctician gives you, that you are not a candidate for your hair on some level becoming weakened, or your hair possibly thinning, or experiencing some other challenges with your hair. This is a very unique journey, and there are a lot of things that go into whether or not you will be able to maintain your locks and have them be thick, healthy, or at least in the state that they were in the first year or two after your install. It's not just a given. There are particular things that you have to do, and there are particular things that you have to watch out for no matter where you are in this journey. It's important to stay informed and to understand that your loctician, while she may be your guide on the side, and for many of you, the sage on stage in your life with regard to you maybe turning over some of your autonomy, that it is important to continually do your research and to stay in touch with other people that have sister locks or micro locks or whatever other type of lock that you may have that is a little lock or a small lock, that you keep an eye on what other people may be expressing with regard to concerns, tips, advices, strategies, wins, challenges, and everything else. That's always going to be important to you on this journey. The third thing that I want to talk about, which is really important, is allowing your hair to express itself the way your hair wants to express itself. Do not worry about what another person's hair looks like in terms of pointing to that person and saying, I want my locks to look like that. Reason being, I did that early on. I wanted every lock that was much smaller than mine. I wanted locks that looked a certain way. We all kind of have a lock crush, or we have a head of hair that we've seen that inspires us, or that might have even been the catalyst for us deciding to get these locks in the first place. But do know that your hair is going to do what your hair does. And your hair, when I say your hair is going to do what your hair does, it's going to express its creativity in the unique way in which your hair decides to do that. Your hair has its own fingerprint, just like you have your own energetic print, your own energetic signature. But the other part of that is that when you compare your hair to other people's hair, you begin to try to make changes to your hair journey. You begin to become self-conscious. You may even develop lock envy, for lack of a better word, or you may mull over or lament what is going on with your own hair journey. And it's important to just let the process unfold and trust the process. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't listen to your intuition when you think something is going wrong. But what this means is accept your beauty and your radiance for all that it is, because it is uniquely you. And never place your journey beside someone else's journey and use it as a comparison, or use it as a way of criticizing where you are in your own individual journey. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is finding a really, really good loctician and always having a backup. And then on top of the backup, have some sense of what is required if you have to, say for the worst possible case scenario, you have to retighten some of your locks. For some reason, you lose an appointment, you can't make it, your loctician gets sick, or maybe she has a baby a little ahead of schedule, you can't get in your retightening, you don't have a backup, or goodness forbid, we have some type of a quarantine situation and you can't get out. It's important for you to have at least experimented with a few of your locks to see if it's actually that hard to maintain them, or to do some kind of experimentation with you just having your hands on your hair and feeling comfortable and really understanding that it's not a lot of magic that is involved. It's very easy to do a retightening or a touch-up or whatever it is that you want to call it, to just on some level have some sense of what might be required in order for you to be self-reliant in the event that you have to. The next thing that I want to say to you is that you should always know if a lock is being married, or if someone is grooming your locks with scissors or trimming the fuzz or whatever else may be going on. It's important that you know that you deserve to be consulted if your locks are being married. This is so important because I talk to so many women who've had their locks married and they did not know. And they look up one day and all they know is they have minus 20 or minus 40 locks because the locks have been married without them being consulted. That's important. I feel as though it can be, I feel like if I'm a loctician and that's something that I'm doing, generally speaking, I'm doing it because it is for the health of the person's locks, and I am the professional and I understand the mechanics of healthy locks and the mechanics of what all is involved in maintaining the style. So I've made a choice that I feel is the best choice to make. I say the majority of the locticians are like this, but you also have many other locticians, based on the stories from very, very credible clients that I have, who complain that this was done because they didn't want to have to retighten all of the locks, or for some other reason other than for the health of their hair. And this is where we kind of get into a gray area. So what I like to tell people, and what I like to share and explain, is that you are an important part of this process. You're not just passively participating. You're an active participant in everything that goes on with your lock journey. And for that reason, it's important that you be made privy to important choices that are being made with regard to your hair. Namely, because once a person has decided to marry your locks and they're doing it with your best interest at heart, then it's because a lock needs to be married. And if a lock needs to be married, it's because that lock is struggling, or that lock is thinning, or something else is going on with that area of your hair that you need to know about. Period. End of discussion. Before this video gets too long, I'm going to talk about two other things that I think are really important, and that is going into a little more depth about what I mean when I say inspect what you expect. It's very important that you always know what is going on with your hair at all times. Never just trust one of your most valuable commodities to someone else. When you see changes starting to happen, it's important that you take a closer look at what is going on and you investigate the causes, and you see what way or what strategy or what it is that you need to do in order to bring some sort of comfort to that situation or to arrest something. When you sit down and you let other people do your hair, or when you listen to other people tell you what to do with your hair and you're not paying close attention to it, you can deal with the ramifications of that. And what do the ramifications of that look like? Hair breaking off, losing locks, locks literally falling off, patches of hair starting to thin, the weakening of your strands and your follicles. This is so, so important. I have been down this road too many times, and I'm here to tell you, you are in the best position to protect your hair simply by just paying attention to what is going on. This brings me to my last point. That something else that I think is really important to you on your journey is making sure that each time you go in for your retightenings, that you have done your pre-work or your pre-retightening routine. It's important that you make things as easy as possible for your loctician. A majority of locticians, not all of them, still prefer to lock your hair and wash your hair. That doesn't mean that you can't benefit from still untangling your hair, or possibly even applying something to your hair that makes it easier to handle after she shampoos it. For those of you who shampoo your own hair, I shampooed my own hair for the entire 14 or so years that I have had these locks. And I've always done that, which means that I have the advantage of making sure that my hair is easy to manipulate prior to my retightening. This makes things a lot easier on me in terms of making my session more comfortable. It makes my retightenings a lot easier for my loctician, Efraj, who would do my hair the majority of the time. And then after her, when she wasn't doing it, it was Neka. She would do my retightenings, and I was always commended for hair that was easy to work with. Not only was it clean because I washed it, but it was also tangle-free because I would go lock by lock and untangle that lock and make sure that there were no loose hairs around that lock that will cause it to embed with the other locks around it. So these are just some things that I want you to be mindful of. Don't have the misconception or the myth or the underestimate what may be actually a part of your responsibility as you continue on this lock journey. By the way, for those of you who are still here in this video, I have a wonderful, wonderful surprise that is coming up in the next few weeks that I cannot wait to share with everyone on this channel. Make sure you continue to come back. More will be revealed. Lots of love to you. Lots of love to you. Thank you for sticking around. Have a beautiful rest of your day, afternoon, or evening, whenever you happen to stumble upon this video. What an amazing 2024 update of the lovely Sheila, who has been using the I Am Melanin Magic products for over 2.5 years. She looks marvelous, and so can you.